Welcome back to Pindrop Perspectives. This week, Mark and Jen are diving into a spec script for the 4th season of the critically acclaimed Amazon series, Goliath. The script picks up right after the events at the end of Season 3, setting up an intriguing premise for the concluding season of Amazon's hit show, as Billy McBride recovers from his recent injury to take on Big Pharma. All right, if you're as excited as I am to hear what this episode has in store, let's turn things over to Mark to get us started.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay, so we're plunging once more into the pretty tumultuous life of attorney Billy McBride.
Yeah.
Picking up right where things left off after that really raw, world-shaking end to Season 3.
That's right. You remember that huge $500 million legal settlement, the one Billy basically forced from Wade Blackwood, the billionaire almond farmer?
Oh, yeah. Massive.
And that whole case just exposed, incredible corporate corruption, how Wade and his sister Diana had, ruthlessly manipulated the state of California.
Over the water, right.
Exactly. Controlling the water surplus, endangering local folks through all that drilling, just suppressing clean water access.
I felt like a huge win for justice, but wow, the cost to Billy personally was just immense.
Absolutely immense, because Diana, in that final desperate move.
Right. She poisons Wade first for spilling the beans about her involvement.
Yeah. And then shoots Billy. She just shoots him and leaves him for dead in the street.
Before dying herself in that car crash. It was just a truly brutal, tragic end to that whole saga. It really was. And it left Billy completely broken. I mean, physically, emotionally, shattered.
He got justice, sure, but the price was enormous.
Exactly. So today, we're treating these events like they actually happened, within this story's world.
Right.
And our mission really is to unpack what happened right after. We're going to explore Billy's personal journey, his physical recovery, or lack thereof.
And there's a new legal challenge, right? Something mysterious involving a big pharma company.
Precisely. We'll introduce that and look at how these really personal tragedies and some old rivalries all kind of converge to set up a whole new battle.
And we'll also look at how these characters, adjust, how they cope with these huge life changes.
Exactly. The adjustments of life, you could say.
Okay, so let's dive into it. 3 months after that, that huge Blackwood settlement, where do we find Billy McBride?
Well, he's basically a shadow of his former self, holed up in this, second-floor motel room in Santa Monica.
Not exactly the high life.
Not at all. He looks rough, unkempt, still got this big bandage around his waist, needs a ventilator sometimes.
Yeah.
And his main activity seems to be doing crossword puzzles while drinking whiskey. He's really retreated deep inside himself.
Yeah, sounds like it. And his daughter, Denise, she's not happy about it.
No, she's definitely not. She kind of bursts in, pretty frustrated with his whole moping around thing, as she calls it.
She wants him back in the fight.
Yeah, she tells him to get back to work, stop acting paralyzed. I mean, she points out he's survived, right? He's physically healing, but emotionally he's just stuck.
But he's not totally alone in there, is he? There's Janet.
Janet, yes. She's that cheerfully awkward woman from Season 3, and her loyalty is just unwavering.
She's sticking by him.
Absolutely. She's just there, folding his laundry, helping with the crosswords. It's kind of sweet, in a way.
And when Denise questions it, why is she even still here?
Janet's answer is simple. She just says, I'm fine right here with Billy. And then she tells him straight, I like you, Billy. You are the nicest person I have ever met. Ever.
Wow. That's quite a statement.
It is. And her loyalty, it's almost stubborn, She overlooks the mess, the stained clothes. Denise is disgusted by it, naturally.
Right.
But it really shows the kind of maybe unexpected anchors Billy's clinging to right now.
We saw her get involved in some pretty weird stuff with Billy before, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Remember Mexico? And that casino thing with Blackwood? Even that completely wild pink fuck gun party incident.
Oh, God, yes. How could anyone forget that?
Right. She kind of proves she could handle herself, even then. It just shows she's willing to stand by him no matter what.
So while Billy's kind of finding this weird, fragile comfort zone with Janet, life is hitting hard elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. While he's retreating, this awful tragedy strikes another family completely out of the blue. The Bagwells.
Okay, who are they?
We meet Clarence. He's 47, his wife Ivara, 43. They live in this sort of rundown place in Inglewood, and they have identical twin boys, Logan and Noah, 16 years old.
Right.
And we first see them celebrating the twins' birthday. It's actually quite touching, 2 cakes. You know, a simple celebration. You can feel the family closeness, even though they're clearly struggling a bit.
But then things go wrong.
Horribly wrong. Clarence has back pain, so he takes these pills called califerin.
Califerin, okay.
Shortly after, Ivara finds him in the bathroom, just pale, limp, face down in a pool of blood. It's devastating, sudden, awful.
Oh, terrible. And the twins, how do they react?
Well, Noah, one of the twins, his reaction is immediate and fierce. The police suggest it's an OD and overdose.
Right, the easy explanation.
Exactly. But Noah completely refuses to accept it. He's adamant, crying out, Dad didn't kill himself, it was the pills that killed him. He's convinced external factors are involved.
Does he have anything to base that on?
He mentions seeing the medical examiner seemed really interested in the prescription bottle, like fascinated by it. Noah felt the examiner knew something.
Interesting. So she suspects foul play, or at least negligence, related to the drug itself.
Yeah. What's really striking is how he, and soon Logan too, despite maybe some initial hesitation from Logan, they immediately reject the simple answer. They decide, okay, we need to investigate this califerin ourselves.
Wow. Teenagers deciding to investigate a drug.
Yeah. Find out if other people have had problems. It's not just grief talking, it's this like deep instinct for justice kicking in.
And that quest leads them where?
Straight to Billy's motel room, actually, where his old legal team happens to be visiting.
Oh, okay. So Patty, Brittany, Marva.
Yep. Patty, soulless Potagian. You know, the blonde alpha, brutally honest, maybe a bit insecure underneath, and she's visibly pregnant now.
Right, pregnant. And Brittany Gold.
Still got that calm, charming vibe. And Marva Jefferson, usually pretty perky, sharp, quietly wise. The whole crew briefly reunited.
So the twins arrive, hoping this team, Billy's team, will take their case. Sue the makers of califerin.
That's the plan. They lay out what they've found, which isn't much at this point. And Patty, she just shuts it down. Hard.
Really? Why?
She calls their evidence just speculation, stuff they found in random online articles. She's really dismissive, even makes a crack about Logan's acne.
Ouch.
Yeah. Tells him it's a cold world out there. Not everything is a conspiracy theory like the internet tells you. Just completely shits them down, even when they desperately offer money.
Wow. That's harsh, especially from Patty, given her usual underdog spirit.
It is harsh. Maybe she's jaded, maybe it's the pregnancy, maybe she just doesn't see a case, but it really contrasts with what happens next.
Would you?
Brittany and Marva, they kind of look at each other, and despite Patty telling them to drop it, they decide to look into califerin anyway, on their own.
Ah, okay. Defying the boss.
A little bit, yeah. And they're digging. It quickly turns up something interesting. They find, quote, a lot of fishy stuff going on with this drug.
Fishy stuff? Like what?
Well, they identify the manufacturer, a company called Zodian Pharmaceutical.
Zodian, okay.
And they quickly learn Zodian isn't just some small outfit. It's, and I quote again, one of the biggest pharmaceuticals in the world.
Whoa. Okay, so this is potentially huge.
Exactly. It really shows. You know, Patty saw the surface, maybe the difficulty of the case, but Brittany and Marva, maybe with fresher eyes, they connected some dots.
And this leads us to Zodian itself.
Directly to Zodian headquarters. Impressive building, you can imagine. And we meet the CEO, Jingshu. He's described as Chinese-American, but with this deep, very precise English accent. Comes across as very formidable.
What's he up to?
He's basically crowing about califerin's success, announcing enormous success. Profits are more than double, projected to rise tenfold. Good numbers.
So califerin is a blockbuster drug for them.
Absolutely. He's even planning this massive Zodian complex to bring everything under one roof. Pure corporate power move.
Okay, so Zodian's riding high. What happens when the Bagwell twins try to approach this guy, Zoo?
Well, they don't get anywhere near him initially. His assistant, a guy named Henry Clinton, intercepts them, gives them the brush off with some generic informational brochures.
Standard corporate stonewalling.
Pretty much. But Zoo sees this interaction, or Henry tells him about it, and Zoo's reaction to Henry possibly failing him is, well, volcanic.
How so?
He apparently jabs a pen violently into his desk, just explodes with rage at Henry for, I guess, interrupting him or handling it poorly, threatens him with some really extreme bodily harm involving sewer rats if he ever interrupts again.
Jeez. Okay, so Zoo is not just powerful, he's volatile and ruthless.
Extremely. He then tells Henry, find out who the FFCK they are and exactly what they want, and the next thing he does, calls his attorney.
Right. Lawyer up immediately. That tells you something.
It shows the kind of immediate aggressive defense mechanism this corporation has, but the real human cost of whatever Zodian's doing, it's about to hit Billy's circle directly, and very hard.
Okay, how? We know Patty rejected the case.
Right, and we mentioned she's pregnant. We even see her talking about baby names like Wallace with FBI Special Agent Jeff Clayton. Seems happy, hopeful.
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. What happens next is just awful. Patty's at home and she gets incredibly sick suddenly, violently ill.
Like how?
Her skin goes pale, almost purple-tinged. She's sweating buckets, in agony, vomiting, and there's a bit of blood in the vomit. You can even see these dark purple veins bulging in her neck. It's terrifying.
Oh my God, what is it?
And then, the horrifying discovery. She sees it, her own prescription bottle. For Califan?
No, she was taking it too.
Apparently so. Prescribed, presumably. And the horror just peaks. She collapses, hits her stomach hard against the toilet.
Oh, the baby.
And there's just blood, an unhealthy amount of blood flowing from her vagina, staining her nightie. It's just a devastating graphic scene.
She lost the baby.
She lost the baby. And the sequence ends with Brittany, completely distraught, calling Billy, telling him Patty lost the baby, and making the explicit connection it was the Califerin. She says, flat out, their drug is killing people.
Unbelievable. So Patty, who dismissed the twins' concerns, becomes a victim herself. The irony is just crushing.
Crushing. And it's a brutal illustration of that adjustments of life theme. Facing this kind of loss tied directly to this corporate entity, it's profound.
So after all this, this cascade of tragedy hitting people around him, where does this leave Billy?
Well, we circle back to him, still in the motel room, still clearly in pain, still taking pills, washing them down with whiskey, no less.
Still relying on Janet.
Yeah, still talking about his pain with Janet, who's just there, still devoted, unwavering.
But his family isn't just letting him stay like that forever, are they?
No. His ex-wife, Michelle McBride, shows up with Denise. An intervention, basically.
What does Michelle say?
She's blunt, tells him, you're falling apart, Billy. Cuts right to the chase.
And Billy's reaction?
Defiant, as you might expect. He basically tells them it's his life, his choice, how he handles it. He's not ready to be pushed, even by them.
Okay, so family pressure isn't working yet.
Yeah.
And then something else happens.
And then, yeah, a real ghost from the past walks in. Donald Cooperman.
Cooperman, his old law partner, the one with the burns.
Yeah.
The arch nemesis.
The very same. He shows up at the motel, and interestingly, he looks healthier. The description notes his past burns seem less agitated. Maybe he's had more treatment. He doesn't look quite as frail.
Yeah. What's he doing there?
Well, Cooperman, being Cooperman, he immediately starts twisting the knife, making these pointed remarks about Billy slumming it in this cheap motel, just dripping with contempt.
Vintage Cooperman.
Absolutely. And he launches into this just chilling conversation, starts reminiscing about the Biscayne-Bauer case.
One of their biggest, ugliest fights.
Exactly. Dredging up Billy's past tactics. And he's using this clicker.
A clicker.
Yeah.
Like a dog training clicker.
Something like that. He claims it's a psychological tool he uses, says it disarms most people, just constantly clicking it, trying to unsettle Billy. Pure psychological warfare.
That is deeply creepy. Some rivalries just never die, huh?
Apparently not. They just fester, and the conversation gets darker. Much darker.
How so?
Cooperman basically issues this absolutely horrifying, vile threat. I mean, the language is incredibly disturbing, promising to, well, let's just say desecrate Billy's corpse in front of his family and friends if Cooperman outlives him, even by a day.
Good Lord. That's pure, unadulterated malice. Just shocking hatred still burning there.
It really is. A chilling reminder of how deep that animosity runs. But the biggest shock for Billy, the thing that connects everything, comes after Cooperman leaves.
What happens?
Billy's there in his motel room, and he finds something on the floor, his own prescription bottle of Califerin.
What? Billy's taking it too.
Seems like it, maybe for the pain from the gunshot wound. But suddenly he's not just investigating this drug for others, he's connected, personally, directly.
Wow. Okay, so what an incredibly tangled web we've just walked through.
Right, it's intricate. You've got Clarence Bagwell's sudden death.
The twins, desperately trying to find answers, looking for justice.
Patty's devastating personal loss, directly linked to the drug she initially dismissed.
Billy's own ongoing struggle, his pain, his isolation.
And now, his own connection to Califerin. And it's all swirling around this one drug and this seemingly untouchable company, Zodian Pharmaceutical.
And if you pull back, look at the bigger picture here. This deep dive really hammers home that theme you mentioned earlier, the adjustments of life.
It really does. You see Billy trying to adjust after the trauma and the victory of season 3. You see the Bagwell family thrust into this nightmare, having to adjust to loss and suspicion.
Patty dealing with unimaginable personal grief directly caused by this corporate behemoth.
Yeah, every single one of them is being forced to adapt, to face these huge, life-altering events, often against forces that seem way too big to fight.
It really makes you think about the resilience it takes just to seek the truth and the personal cost involved.
And how old conflicts like with Cooperman can just roar back to life when you least expect it.
Absolutely. Which I think brings us to a really crucial final thought for you, the listener, to chew on.
Yeah.
With Billy McBride now realizing he's literally taking the same drug that's in the center of all this tragedy.
Right. The drug that killed Clarence, the drug that caused Patty's miscarriage.
And with Cooperman, this ruthless old enemy, back in the picture. What kind of personal sacrifice is this going to demand from Billy as he navigates his own adjustments of life to potentially take on this new Goliath, Zodian? Especially when his own health, his own well-being, might literally be on the line because of California itself.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How far will he go this time, knowing the potential cost?
Amazon's Goliath was postponed during the pandemic, and actor William Hurt, who played Donald Cooperman, passed away in 2022, so unfortunately, we'll never see how this series plays out. But we hope this week's episode was enjoyable and gave you a glimpse into one possibility for the finale. Tune in again next week as we shift gears into a horror-themed season full of spooks, scares, and psychological nightmares. Until then, remember, keep your perspective open. Artificial intelligence was used to assist in generating audio content for this episode.